Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Hi, I'm Abby Pajikowski. I'm 30 years old. I live in Chicago, Illinois.
My name's Annie Scher. I'm 26 years old from Chicago, Illinois.
I'm a tutor and a performance artist.
I'm a performance artist and recess consultant.
And I'd like to be on Survivor.
And I want to be the next sole survivor. Let me do that again.
What makes you think that you have what it takes to be the next sole survivor?
Okay. I think I could be the next. I want to be on Survivor because I don't think I could do it. I think I underestimate myself all the time. I undervalue how well I could do at something. And I actually really thrive under pressure, but pressure scares me. So to me, I'd want to be one of those people. I'd want to be like a Suri who goes on as I don't know if I can actually do this. I really don't know, but I just have this little gut feeling that I might surprise myself and everyone else. And I think I could actually really, really thrive. But the idea of it terrifies me.
I think that I am very good at making people think that I am their friend. I gain trust very quickly. I'm a very charismatic person, and I get along with all sorts of different people, but I have a really strong intuition about others as well, and I usually know how folks are going to be playing out socially, and I think that would serve me well in the game of Survivor.
What would the hardest part be for you? What would you be worst at?
I'm so scared of snakes. Kat, between Abby and me, who do you think would do better at Survivor?
Abby.
Why? Why?
Because you would get mad and people would want you off. And Abby would remain neutral to everyone and they couldn't figure Abby out, probably. I think.
Okay, let's ask the next person.
That's a good idea, because that tree has sticks on it. Oh, it's cold!
It's wet, and it's actually a root.
Oh my god, my hands are so cold. Okay, we got one.
Okay.
What is that? What is that? Why is there a syringe outside of our building with broken glass next to it?
That's really scary.
Oh, getting the sand challenges, getting the sand under your nails. So you scrape magnesium into dust pile onto tinder, which our tinder is the scratch paper that we found in the office and these twigs. Sweep striker on, so that would be our machete, on the flint to create sparks. Aim sparks towards the magnesium dust pile.
Sounds easy enough. Should we have brought water outside?
To put it out? You think our fires are going to be that strong?
See, that's why I'm destined to be the sole survivor, because I believe in myself.
See, and I am a pragmatist, which is important.
My childhood best friend, Michael Lieberman's house burned down when we were in 6th grade. His dad, Tom, threw a cigarette out in a trash can inside the garage. The cigarette was still lit. I was happy because their insurance covered them restocking their massive book collection, and when I went with them to Barnes & Noble, I was allowed to pick out anything I wanted to keep for myself. And my mom was happy because she already hated Tom, and the fire gave her permission to hate him even more.
When I was a kid and a tween and even into my teens, my parents didn't let me have candles in my room for fear of me starting a fire that would burn the entire house down, destroy all of our belongings, and maybe kill the entire family. So because I wasn't allowed to have any, they became all I wanted. All I wanted were candles and to light matches and to have a lighter all to myself. The only part of First Communion that I remember is getting to light candles to pray for the people we had lost. I don't remember who I prayed for, but I remember lighting a lot of candles.
Do we try this inside? What if we just try it right? Easy. There's something with the smart part.
Like that satisfying.
When I'm burnt out, I have a tendency to make even more commitments and more work for myself. Because as unsustainable as still going feels, stopping makes me feel sick.
I think I burnt myself out so badly in high school and college that 8 years later I still haven't recovered. I used to think I'd never want to retire. Now my favorite thing to do is nothing.
Whoa! Okay, that singed it.
Look at that! Yes!
That's success.
I think Annie would be better at Survivor.
And why, Neil?
Because I don't think Annie's pride would allow her to be outwilled or outwitted by any contestant for as long as she could hold up.
Oh, come on.
It's worth the risk if I'm losing sleep over it every night for at least a week.
It's worth the risk if you're uncomfortable but exhilarated.
It's not worth the risk if the alternative is almost just as good.
It's not worth the risk if you know you'll get hurt and you kind of want to get hurt.
I'm willing to give up comfort for validation.
I'm willing to give up stability for something that feels big in my bones and right in my gut.
I did risk it, and now I have a new thing to worry about.
I did risk it, and now I have an embarrassing story that's fodder for plays.
I did nothing, and now I wonder how else I'm letting myself down.
I did nothing, and now I wonder how many stories I could have had.
Okay. I was gonna say I don't feel like a great judge on this because I don't know what the rules for Survivor are. I have not watched it. For outdoorsiness and competitive nature, I think Annie might be better at it.
You work out? Neither do I.
Whenever I try to tell people how weak my arms are, they never believe me.
You're shaking. It'd be so embarrassing if you dropped it 30 seconds in.
I will. That's what I'm saying. It's
Hi.
already painful. Like, do we need to do straight arms?
Yeah.
My parents were circus performers.
My favorite cheese is cottage cheese.
I have a sister named Fred.
I was born at home in the bathtub.
I hate olives. All olives. I wish I were taller.
I do not stalk all of my exes on Venmo.
I don't eat Flaming Hot Cheetos late at night whenever I'm deeply sad and anxious.
I always stop at stop signs when I'm riding my bike.
I didn't shit myself in the ocean once and have to carry my poop into the woods because I thought it would sink, but it just floated beside me. I didn't do that.
I do not regularly cry while watching the Kardashians.
I am not attracted to Timothée Chalamet, and I never will be.
I've heard of all the bands and movies you've ever talked about.
I didn't laugh the entire time I first had sex.
I don't pick my nose and flick the boogers wherever when people aren't looking.
My biggest fear is not that time is passing me by and I'll never do anything with it.
I don't care that my dad and I can't hold a 5-minute phone conversation.
My therapist didn't tell me that I have a very troubling self-loathing problem.
My biggest fear is not that everyone thinks I'm a huge fraud.
I think I'm a brave person.
I can convince myself that most things are true, and I don't feel bad about it if the stakes are low. No one else can tell me what's at stake. I do my calculations alone, usually in bed or in the shower.
I don't trust absolutes and cliches are lazy, but I do think that honesty may well be the best policy. I think lying to yourself is more dangerous than lying to others. I recently realized that I'm honest and open about a lot of things that maybe others wouldn't be, but I do that so that I can lie to myself and others about the most important things.
I'm gonna say Abby. I'm sorry.
And yeah, correct. And why?
I don't know. I just feel like you could flip a switch, you know, and just like really fuck someone over.
I have some real deep-seated insecurities that you can bet stem from high school, and these can lead me to sometimes follow whoever is making me feel like I'm special instead of sticking with the people who actually know who I am.
I love gossip. I love secrets as currency. There have been several times where friends find out I've shared something they told me in confidence, and my usual defense comes in the form of betraying someone else's trust. I'm a selfish person. I will almost always do the thing that will be the most fun, most rewarding to me, regardless of who else is involved. This Kim Cattrall quote went viral a couple months ago. I don't want to be in a situation for even an hour where I'm not enjoying myself. 5 different people sent this quote to me and told me that it made them think of me.
I can be impatient, cowardly, needy, but the worst part of me is simply white noise. It's the beeping of a monitor in a hospital room, but it's not even a real hospital room. It's like a fake one in Grey's Anatomy. It's barely alive, it's not really here, and it's eating itself. I am an earnest person, which can lower my cool factor, but it allows me to love really, really hard. I can produce full body laughter just as quickly as I can burst into tears, and I can make a room full of people know that they belong there, and I can feel like I belong too.
I am deeply invested in all of the things I do and all of the people in my life. I care more than and long after what might be expected of me, even when I don't want to anymore.
Annie.
And why? Why would I certainly be better?
Why?
You don't have a reason, Dan?
Just instinct.
I feel like I feel like I'm in a game of Survivor right now.
This whole process has confirmed for me that I like to be in control, but without other people knowing that I like it or that I am. That's why I'll often give feedback in the form of a question, and why when we're picking out a restaurant to go to for dinner, I'll let my partner make the final decision, but choose from a preordained list of selections that I made. I don't think I always achieve this sort of perception, but I know and understand how to be seen when it really counts.
From this experience, I've learned that my competitive spirit comes in waves, like sweeping waves of both sides of the extreme. I'm either pretty chill about it, doing it for the love of the game, I'm okay with the participation award, or I'm full imperialist mode, take no survivors, total annihilation, full domination. And I think technically probably one of those is healthier than the others, but then again, maybe I need to allow myself to want something so badly that it hurts. Like maybe that kind of pain could be good for me.
Who wants it more? Who needs it more? Who deserves it more?
So this is a thing I've read from many contestants. At a certain point, like 10 days in, you're choosing to eat coconuts and have diarrhea or not eat anything. What would you do?
As someone who's experienced chronic constipation for my entire life, coconuts all the way.